Hey everybody, Mac2Monster here, going over Diablo 3 Barbarian build, Hammer of the Ancients. Probably the second most popular build, next to the Whirlwinds. I didn't really like Whirlwinds, so I looked for something else, and something you can do cheap, and this is it. Let me just jump in game. If you like huge hits, this is the build for you. I could squeeze more DPS out of the Scoundrel, but it's only about 500 as I want inexpensive builds. As you can see, I have almost no attack speed, and my real efficient build is a little bit less DPS. Because I will use that terrain, which is obviously a huge DPS loss. So, the reason why of Stone and Jordan, not a big fan of Stone and Jordan normally, but it gives you reduced resource cost of Hammer of the Ancient by 4. It basically means I'm always at permanent Fury. Another bonus to this is 14 maximum Fury. It really works well with the Hammer of the Ancients. That's almost 3% crit chance. The 5% lightning damage is decent. The 24% damage against elites is nice. Most people will say that it's awesome. It's actually a joke, because if you look at my current ring, I get 42% critical hit damage. I'm always critical hitting. The way the build works is you end up with somewhere between 80 to 90% crit chance with Hammer of the Ancients. You're always critting, so that's a guaranteed 42%. Even if I only had 50% crit chance as the character sheet, or 60% crit chance as the character sheet says, we'll just say 50% for the normal folk. That would still be 21% extra damage, plus critical hit chance, plus the strength. It just pays out better to have standard non-Stone of Jordan anything, unless you absolutely need that reduced resource cost, or you're getting a phenomenal amount of damage bonus on a different skill. It's the only time you really use Stone of Jordans, or you need the cold damage from a cold damage Stone of Jordan. Otherwise you're garbage. Don't waste your money. I did sink some money into this, 700,000 or 700 million gold, maybe a little less, 500 million. Most expensive thing here is the Scorn. You want a weapon. It's all about crit, so Scorn is ideal with a socket. You don't necessarily need lifesteal, but that's where you're going to start paying a lot of money for, is that lifesteal. This is a low lifesteal, so I kind of got a good deal on it. I snagged this for 150 million, couldn't believe it myself. Not really too many higher DPS things out there. If you look, you can get an Immortal King's Boulder. This thing will cost you 10-20 million tops. You can get it with lifesteal. You can get a reduced Hammer of the Ancients. It's kind of sweet, but it's still 42,000 damage less because there's no critical hit bonus. There's no socket. Critical hit damage bonus, I should say. That's where the Scorn pays off in spades. So, just looking at the build, primary thing that you're looking at is Hammer of the Ancients with Smash. You hit a small area of effect, I think it's like 3 to 4 feet, for 406 weapon damage. But Hammer of the Ancient has a 1% increased critical hit chance for every 5 Fury you have. That's where that Fury comes in. So right now I'm sitting at 119 Fury. That is basically 23% crit chance bonus. So if you look at the character sheet, it's going to give me an 83.5% chance to crit. It's kind of sweet. If I had this, it would be 86% chance to crit. I think 83 is good enough. The lack of a resource to Hammer the Ancients isn't so great if you don't have large packs. It's patch 1.08, so there are lots of large packs running around there, but you can dump all your fury on a rare pack as you kill them off. So it's something to watch out for. Not too much trouble. I use Bash to gain fury back. You get a ton of fury with this build, so you might have to bash once or twice and you're already at full fury again. Plus you get the benefit of 5 seconds of having increased damage to your skills. Without bashing or anything, Hammer of the Ancients with my current build hits a little bit over 1 million sometimes. A little bit under sometimes. But I've seen 1.2 million on Infernal 5, and I've seen 800,000. So it's got a little bit of a variety to it. Oh, this is totally unbuffed too. The second part that really helps is Battle Rage into the fray. Critical hits have a chance to generate 15 additional fury for you, and the Battle Rage itself gives you a 15% damage and 3% crit chance. So yes, I am actually sitting at 63% crit chance. Of course, Scorn is helping. It's an axe, and I have Weapon Master, which gives me 10% crit chance there. I also have Ruthless, which is 5% crit chance and 50% damage increase. I mean, crit is everything, so you might as well have it. And then I use an Unforgiving because I want to generate fury instead of losing it, and I get 2 every second on top of everything else. Just helps pay off that cost of Hammer of the Ancients, which is 20 fury. I have Wrath of the Berserker with Insanity because I like to see 2.5 million point crits, so I can get up to 2.75 with the 3 bashes. It's really hard to time out, so I only do it with easy packs. It's just a lot. Look, you get another 10% crit chance. You're always going to crit with Hammer of the Ancients. 25% attack speed. That's going to pay off 1,000-fold because the build can work really well without attack speed on items, which makes it cost less, which is why I said I may have only spent 500 million on this. It's possible 750. I didn't really keep track. I just had the money, so I spent it. Got the stuff I wanted. Real easy to make it effective. Low-end cut budget, because you're only looking for bifecta instead of trifecta items. And you got Rend Bloodlust. That's just in case you start getting hit and you actually need life. It's one of the oh no buttons that most barbarians use, along with Overpower and Crushing Advance, which redirects 35% of incoming melee and range damage for 4 seconds after Overpower is activated. So that's another oh no button. You kind of don't need them, especially at Infernal 5. I've done Infernal 10 with this. It's rather difficult because of just the lack of attack speed and getting trapped with attack animations. MP5, with the way 1.8 has changed with elemental damage, can be tricky. You've noticed I have a godly amount of strength, 2733. I'm only Paragon 6, I think, maybe Paragon 7. So that's a lot of strength, and it's only going to go up more. I might end up with 3,000 strength. Good amount of vitality, a lot of armor from the strength. I do have the 60% crit chance. Again, that's Scorn and Weapon Master, so really it's about 45%. Real easy to attain cheaply. Lots of critical hit damage. Love that. Everything else doesn't really matter. Nice damage reduction. I have a good amount of resist all, as you can see. I suggest at least 600 resist all. Just pays off a lot. 43,000 life. Should have a minimum of 40,000 anyways. This guy will probably end up closer towards 45, 47 once Paragoned out. And let's see, life per second doesn't really matter. Life steal 8%, phenomenal amount of life steal. You're hitting for 1 million, you're getting 80,000 life. I only have 43,000 life, so it's like every time you hit Hammer the Ancient, it's going to fill your life back up. And that's if you only hit one mob. That's really it. Yeah, a little movement speed is nice. I'm getting it from the boots. I do have the full Immortal Kings set. Absolutely imperative towards the build. +5 maximum fury for 1. Increase fury generation by 2. So now you're getting 4 a second. Gain 5 life per fury spent. That's really not imperative part, but it's the +5 maximum fury and increased fury generation by 2, because now your crits with bash can get you 17. Your crits get you even more fury. Your hits get you even more fury. I have a pretty phenomenal scorn. You'll probably look for 100 to 200 DPS less for cost effective. You can probably get that for 20-30 mil. Lifesteal. If you're not going to have lifesteal, you need minus fury cost to Hammer the Ancients. Is just imperative. Socket, imperative. Big part of the damage. I actually have rare legs. They were pretty decent. Low on armor. I could have gotten more armor, but with all the strength in there, you're kind of getting armor anyways. So, as you can see, 62, 32 armor. I don't need armor. Life and damage is the big part there. The ring, bifecta ring. Critical hit chance 6, imperative. Critical hit damage, imperative. High critical hit damage on that. This cost a little. Probably 20 million. Resist all and strength was nice. I got this ring for 40 million. It's a trifecta ring. Not too expensive, but kind of low on the critical hit damage, so that's what it is. I rolled this. Not really a great roll. 280 strength is nice. 80 vitality is okay. 4.5 crit chance okay. I really should be rolling for another strength one with resist all and 6% crit. That's what I should be rolling out. I always suggest crafting first bracers. They have the least amount of randomness to them, which gives you the most likely chance of getting your high main stat, vitality, resist all, and crit chance, which is what's going to pay off. And it'll beat the Coonies really easy. Immortal King Iron, these are pretty decent. No vitality, which kind of sucks, but you know, high strength, high resists. It's only 60. If you shoot for 60 resists on gear, you'll get them a lot cheaper. 10% crit, real easy to get on these. I have Immortal's belt. These are pretty decent, high strength, some vitality, high resist all. The key here is the 2.8 damage dealt converted to life steal. You want to get that on this. A nice little handy thing that came out with it was -2 fury to rend, so I can use rend a little cheaper. I don't really need rend too much anymore though, so Immortal King's chest, high strength, not too high, but it's got a good amount of dex or vitality, and resist all really helps out, and then throw in all the extra sockets, and that's a lot of strength. Only got rare shoulders, didn't go with the Vile Ward because these just kind of paid off. A lot of strength, a lot of vitality, has resistance, not quite the armor, but I don't need armor. I need that strength, I need that vitality. I got these for 10 million. Why would I spend 100 million, 200 million on a Vile Ward to do the same thing just because it has the name Vile Ward? Save yourself some money. These are a bifecta, and it's a low bifecta because it's only 8% crit, not 10. Knocking it down a couple percentages, you'll save a ton of money. I think I scored these for 15 million. Couldn't believe it. I kind of stole that off the auction house. And then I have an Immortal King's helm, completing the set for Immortal Kings. 96 strength, 60 resists, as you can see. I saved some money on here. I scored this with 6% crit chance, 12% life, plus another 18 from the socket. That's 30% life. Yeah, I scored these I think for 20-25 mil. It's nothing. And that's the basic gear. And that's the basic build. You know, you can swap out what you like, but you're probably these two here. You can do whatever you want with these two spaces. You can insert anything. I don't really know what you'd really insert. I kind of need this. Be silly not to have that. Need this. This can be anything you want, again, for just a builder, just in case you run out of rage, especially with no minus to hammer the ancients. For lower MPs, I will swap into this. It's a little bit less DPS, but I can just spam hammering the ancients like nothing. And this was the first one I bought. I got this weapon for like 2-3 million or something. I can't remember. It was just cheap. So I'm going to go out to Fields of Despair. No, Festering Woods. There we go. Easiest place to find rare packs. 800,000, 800,000, 900,000, 1 million. 900, 1 million. Well, almost to 1.1 million there. That's 1.09. See, max fury. These are just against single mobs, staying max fury. Oh, see, I didn't crit. Bad rolls. 1 bash, back to full fury. I'm just filling up on life. They can hit me as much as they want. And that's the way it rolls. That's not even Wrath of Berserker out. That's just 1 million hits. 1 million. Oh, 1.1 there, yeah. It's got to be the hardest hitting skill there is. Beats Wave of Light. At least Wave of Light that I can get hits out of. I can't come close to 2.4 mil. I'm just working the Wrath of the Berserker's multiplier. Looking for a rare pack. Again, I haven't used any secondary skills. It's just filling up with life. For some reason, there's no rare mobs. Kind of a slow build. Now let's just go in here and find a rare pack. Always a rare pack in here. It's a plan. Where are these guys going? Jeez. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be as fast as World 1. Ooh. But obviously quite effective. And very, very inexpensive to build. What are these? Level 63 too, Lukunis. It's because I used bash. That's kind of my trick. I try to bash, hammer, hammer. kind of hard to do against these guys. I don't know. Yep, knew that was going to happen. Freeze. Two bashes pull up. Berserk. Blow your cooldowns. Everything's melting. 2 million crit. Look at that. 1 million. Oh, I melted him. See? I got caught with the freeze, messing around with bash. All I had to do was hit overpower and I would have gone through that no problem. So, there's your 2 million crit and a very, very inexpensive Barbarian build. If you're wondering, that was my wife speaking in the background. I don't know if it came through. She apologizes. I'm gonna go out and see if I can find just one more rare pack. Especially considering a rare already, or legendary dropped. I don't like to quit when I get legendaries. Oh, I got one. I can go into this over here. This has got a rare pack in it. Oh, gotta be careful of those. One million crits on freaking guys. Just annihilate them. You know, follow the basic rules, stay out of the stuff, and you'll do fine. So, that's it. Hammer the Ancients. Get 2 million point crits just doing Berserker. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Have fun, and I'll see you later.